my name is Megan Campbell and I've just completed an 8-week placement at the Kirkland Learning Disability Treatment Center in the Occupational Therapy Department. And being that it's been a remote placement, I figured it would be helpful for myself to note down how I felt and what I found useful and what I found challenging. So some of the things that I found useful was that I had a really great occupational therapy team and practice educators that were great at prioritizing my ability to meet my learning goals over the course of this placement and making sure that I had great opportunities. Another thing that I found really helpful was that I had a lot of opportunity to meet with the MDT and be able to participate in learning tutorials and trainings, and this may not have been possible if I was in person because we might have been a lot busier than we were and maybe not able to meet with as many members of the MDT. Another thing that I found useful was being able to learn and engage over the topic of Near Me, which is the video consultation platform that we use to meet patients virtually. And it was just really useful, as I think occupational therapy and other therapies will be taking this technology into future sessions, and it'll be great knowledge to have. Some of the things that I found challenging were not being able to have a lot of experience that was hands-on, as I tend to be a more visual and tactile learner, which just means that I learn best when I'm able to observe things myself or complete them myself as well. And I just didn't have a lot of experiences that were available to me like that on this placement, but I feel like if it had been in person, I would have had those experiences available to me. Another thing that I found challenging was the limited ability to interact and engage with patients. As everything was remote and over the computer, it was just sometimes difficult to communicate, and while I was able to observe sessions and even be able to lead a few myself, it just wasn't always the easiest to be able to engage with patients the way you'd want to, as you would be able to in person. And the last thing that I found quite challenging was that we were reliant on the technology, and if it was malfunctioning or not cooperating, that was us basically in the dark. And I think that made this experience quite challenging, as meetings got canceled or patients weren't available at that time or the technology just wasn't cooperating. But overall, I found it to be a great experience, and I feel like I learned a lot and I've gained some skills that I may not have gained had it not been a remote placement. While I don't think a remote placement is the best way to learn, especially in occupational therapy when our job is so hands-on and in person, I think that I really did learn a lot and I enjoyed the learning disability setting. And I would just like to say a really big thank you to the occupational therapy team, and especially to my practice educators, Mary and Fiona, for being super supportive of me throughout this entire experience and giving me the best opportunities possible. Thank you very much for supporting me.